8th day, and I never dry that off. So it gets too warm.
That I can buy the double?
If you buy one, they're $400. If you buy two, they're $800. It's a good deal. I don't offer this stuff to everybody.
You're $4.99.
Costing you $5 more to get to them.
Okay.
So if you put cold water in here and you turn it on high speed, it's literally the friction of the blade turning that produces it.
But you put hot water in.
Put hot water in, so you can make a soup in a minute instead of making it in 6 or 7 minutes.
It takes that long to heat it up.
Take it from cold water and cold vegetables, you need to run it for about 6 or 7 minutes to get it really piping hot. So if you're at home and you've got hot water, it just makes it a lot faster. So for this soup, we're going to throw in, just kind of clean out your fridge. You know, any leftover vegetables you got, and this is tortilla soup right out of our cookbook. This is one of about 40 different soup recipes that's in there. We're just going to throw in some carrots, some celery. You don't have to worry about the strings wrapping around the blade. You can do wheatgrass, do raw foods, right? You do wheatgrass, I put in 2 cups of grapes, green grapes, a handful of wheatgrass, and a little lime, and blend that.
I put the avocado skin in there once you left it.
It'll grind anything, but anything with a thick skin can harbor mold or bacteria, so it's just safer to get rid of it, especially if you're buying it from the store. If you've got your organic garden in your backyard, that's a different story. We're going to take your garlic. You don't skin it, you don't peel it. 20% of your antioxidants are in the garlic skin, so use it. We're going to grind it down in there. Vegetarian bouillon cube, you don't even have to take the foil off your bouillon.
Get out of here.
We're just making sure you guys are paying attention. If you're not listening, we grind it up and feed it to you, so you guys can save yourself. And we're going to start this off. Anytime you've got hot liquid in here, if you start it right on high speed, it's like starting a blender on high speed, except a lot stronger. So it's going to force that stuff up towards the lid. So the cookbook tells you on every single recipe, if you flip open to any of these, you've got your ingredients for what you need, and then it's step by step. So it'll tell you to put it on a variable speed 1, turn it up to 10, flip it to high. And all that does is walk it up slowly so you're not creating that initial jump up in the container. And that's the base of our soup. We're going to add your seasoning now. So if we were just doing a vegetable soup, we put in a little salt and pepper. We're going to put in some Southwest spice, and that's going to give us kind of a tortilla flavor in there. You can put corn in this if you want that corn flavor in the base. We're going to add corn later, so we're going to leave it out of this one. But the longer you run that, it's literally just the friction of the blade turning. If you ran a smoothie for 10 minutes, you'll eventually end up with a hot smoothie.
What levels do you have to contain before it's jumping out?
You can fill that to the top. That'll do a whole half gallon. The way those little slot and groove designs in your container create a little vortex in the top. So, we're almost to the top right there. We're not worried about things spilling out. This does turn and lock, though. So if you've got some really hot liquids and you're going to walk away or something like that, just turn and lock that. The lid's actually vented in 4 places. So as that runs and that steam builds up pressure in there, it's allowing that to escape, and it's not going to blow your lid off like a blender would. We started with hot water, so all we had to do was really run that long enough to blend those vegetables, but it was getting hotter the entire time you're running that. So we just went from one of the fastest mixers on the market to the slowest. Right there, it's just barely stirring, and we kind of showed you before how dull that blade is. So right now it doesn't really chop, it just stirs in texture. So if you want to make a chunky soup, you add the stuff that you want to chew on in your soup afterwards. So this is where you put in cooked chicken or rice or corn. We're going to do black beans, do a little bit of corn, and some tortilla chips, and that's tortilla soup, start to finish in less than 2 minutes. You guys ready for some soup? And it's not just soups, it's anything you'd stir and cook on a stove. So, gravies and fondues, your sauces if you want to do things like Alfredo sauces and marinara sauces. And there's 40 different soup recipes in the cookbook. Cream of asparagus, you got broccoli cheese. And once you make a few soups in your Vitamix, it's real easy to take any recipe you've got and kind of convert it. But if you haven't used a few, it's kind of it's not too bad, huh? That one works good behind the ears too.
too bad for a white guy.
That's a good Mexican soup for a white guy from Utah. Thank you. You'll love it. If you have any questions, I'm here tomorrow and all day Sunday too. You need to stay in? That's good too. That's the dry container. You can, that's the one we talked about earlier. Kind of graining. We're using grind wheat flour, rice flour, cornmeal, mixed bread dough, and then our small wet container. Cashew butter in your regular one. Peanut butter, cashew butter. If you're grinding flaxseed, just throw your flaxseed in with your smoothie. So that's
Cashew butter won't make it too.
Cashews are my favorite butter.
Well, overload some sugar.
You start, when you're doing nut butters, anytime you're doing something heavy, like peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, even hummus and stuff like that, you start it right up on high speed. When you're on high speed, the motor's keeping itself cool because you're pulling air over that motor on that high speed. So when you're doing something heavy, you want it on high speed. The only time you're going to run into problems is if you try to do a peanut butter or something heavy like that on your lower speed, then you just don't have the full power of the motor. That's in the book. And this has got a thermal protector on it, so even if you did something like that, it'll shut itself down. So if you ever use it and it quits on you, you didn't break it, you just wait 20 minutes and fire it back up. These last a long time. And even I do a ton of vegetable oils and I do a lot of greens. So after about 6 months to a year, you'll get like a little buildup that wears on over time, and you can do two things. You can do really hot water and a little white vinegar and run it for 2 or 3 minutes, and any of that buildup that starts out, it'll just pull it off. Or you can just use some liquid bleach and run it for 2 minutes with hot water, and that's only once a year or anytime you see a buildup on it.
All the models have the same horsepower rating?
Yeah, all of our household models, the 5200, the Pro Series 500, those are all 2 horsepower, 1380 watts. That's the same thing. Yeah, the Pro Series has the exact same motor as this.
So what's the next level up?
That would be the Pro Series. The next level up, they call it. The same motor, same container, same blade, everything. Power-wise would be our 3 horsepower. That's the one they use like at Jamba Juice and Smoothie King.
That has a big base, right?
Has a big base, and if you put them side by side, they really don't do anything differently. The 3 horsepower is just rated for more cycles a day, so if you were going to open a smoothie shop and you're going to make 100 or 200 drinks a day, that 3 horsepower just cools better so you can run it more cycles and make more volume.
Okay,
but if you put them side by side, they're really going to do the same thing. No problem. See you, buddy. Yes.
Are you able to put meat in there?
No, you can put meats in there. If you're cooking a soup or doing something like that, you're only cooking on high speed, so you're going to liquefy everything you put in there. But if you wanted to put in meat and just grind burger, or do take freezer burnt steak and grind them into burger, you do that on your low speed, so you can do meats in there. Well, variable speed, you can control that variable speed dial. So if you're chopping onions or doing salsas or coleslaws, you kind of put it on the speed you want. On high speed, you override that middle dial. It doesn't do anything. High speed, full power. What did you want to do with me?
Add stuff to it, basically. Add different things like onions, put like marinades and stuff like that on it, and then grind it up so it all comes in nice.
Grind it up together, so you do want your meat completely ground up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, I probably put the onions in and add the meat on
sure.
top. So basically you do it on high.
No, you do that on a lower speed. If you do it on high speed, you're going to puree your meat completely.
Wow.
I mean, it's going to be liquid meat. I don't know if that sounded weird.
No, I know. Cool, thanks.
No problem. Still making me nervous. Thanks.